Gabby, can you start off by telling us a little bit about what BBC will be doing for the World Cup?
BBC will be covering England in the Women's World Cup all the way to the final, which we sincerely hope they get to on the 17th of July. We'll be on BBC Two with highlights, interactive, red button, and then BBC Three for the final. So, it's a really busy time of the year for the BBC. Two of our big jewels in the crown in terms of the Open, the British Open Golf, and Wimbledon are on. So there was a worry that that we weren't going to get a platform. So I'm really pleased because I've covered the 2007 and the 2009 tournaments, the European and World Cup. So it's brilliant, especially with the Olympics next year, and most of this squad you would think are going to be playing, for Great Britain at the Olympics. So it's brilliant that we're keeping our coverage up there.
Now, you've spoken to a lot of sportsmen and women over the years, preparing for big events. How do you think the players will be handling this kind of period right now?
The hard work, as they say, is done in terms of getting you into the squad, and then it's the kind of detail that needs to be looked at, I guess, by Hope Powell. Who she's going to pick for her first team, who her first 11 are, how they play together, the system that she looks like. She's played 4-3-3 against Sweden. She's going to stick with that, and she's quite a flexible coach, I think, in that respect. But all those kind of things, that she needs to look at, and the players now, it's like that intense period of focus. So, it's in some ways it's quite, when they get into camp, I guess it's the most boring period because there's a lot of hanging around, and their kind of daily routines have gone, and they're just waiting to get going. And I think the few days when they get out to Germany will be exciting. Then the days just before the competition start, it just it looks to me from the outside like it's an interminable wait. They just want to get going and kick that first ball, and then once they're off, the whole thing goes so quickly, and then you want to savour every moment of the experience.
We've seen you speak to Hope and some of the players. What kind of feelings are they sensing at the moment?
Hope's always so calm and cool and very, she's seen it all. She's played on the biggest stage. There are very few scenarios she hasn't come up against. So I always get the same kind of impression with Hope, that she's into control. And there's some really excited players here who've never played in a World Cup. And then there are players, the likes of Jill Scott, who have played in World Cups and know exactly what that experience is like. So I think it's a nice blend, and I think the old heads, or the wiser heads, will be able to pass that experience to the younger players who haven't had that experience. So I think it's a nice blend.
And finally, going to put you on the spot. How do you rate their chances?
I can see them going better than they did in China, going better than quarterfinals. Well, I hope so. With those big results against USA and Sweden, I think, should be a marker of where they've come to, and hopefully, we can see semi-final. That would be brilliant.